For the families of the 97, it's been a long fight to get to the truth. The role of the police central to their search for justice. And after 13 years, the police watchdog has completed the largest ever independent investigation into alleged police misconduct and criminality.
I can only assume that there was overcrowding, and as they tried to come out from behind the barriers...
It found South Yorkshire Police fundamentally failed in its planning for that match, its response to the unfolding disaster, and how it dealt with supporters and families searching for their loved ones. It names a dozen officers who'd have had a case to answer for gross misconduct if they'd still been serving. Among them, the then Chief Constable Peter Wright, for his part in deflecting the blame away from police and towards Liverpool fans. He died in 2011. The match commander that day, Chief Superintendent David Duckenfield. He was cleared by a jury of gross negligence manslaughter. And Sir Norman Bettison would have had a case to answer for alleged dishonesty about his role that day while he was applying to be Chief Constable of Merseyside. No officers, though, will face any action as a result of this report.
The professional standards in place at the time were very different. The law is different now, where officers who have retired can face gross misconduct hearings. That's been a really significant change. And I think what our report really shows is how difficult it is when organisations prioritise defending their reputation rather than openly and immediately admitting the mistakes that they've made and working to put those right. It is very difficult to unpick that so many years later and deliver the accountability that people deserve.
For the families of the victims, among them Margaret Aspinall, who lost her son James, the lack of accountability is hard to take.
All of those 97 who died unlawfully killed, and yet not one person's being held to account. To me, that's a disgrace. We're not here on behalf of Hillsborough. We're all sitting here to change things for the good of the country, for the good of the nation.
Teenage sisters Sarah and Vicky Hicks were among those who died. For their mother, this report offers little consolation.
I can't believe, having seen the 370-odd page report, how on earth can it have taken them 13 years to write this when there's very little in the report that I didn't already know. It's not really, in my opinion, what I've read so far, telling the families anything.
One result of Hillsborough will be a law compelling public officials to be truthful with investigations. For the family of Andrew Mark Brooks, that, like this report, is not enough.
Nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change. There'll be another cover-up. There'll be, another disaster. And I think until things, change at the very top, and I include MPs, I include chief constables, CEOs of organisations, until they're the ones who stop protecting and stop covering up from themselves.
In a statement, the current Chief Constable of South Yorkshire Police said, "I fully accept the IOPC report, which highlights a litany of failures, and am so deeply sorry for the pain and heartache caused. The report is clear that people attended a football match in Sheffield and therefore they were in our care. The force failed them and also failed their loved ones in the days, months and years after. This will always be a point of deep regret and shame for South Yorkshire Police." Nearly 37 years on, for many, that justice they sought remains elusive. Greg Milam, Sky News.